Okay, what a great crowd. I think one of the things I love about this event every year is we got the worker bees in the room, and I hear you all buzzing, buzzing, buzzing. I'm Annie Notthoff, and I'm a member of the board of California League of Conservation Voters, and I think we've saved the best for last. It's my job tonight, and my great privilege, to honor Congressman George Miller, my representative in Congress, with CLCV's most special of awards, the Byron Sher Lifetime Achievement Award. In establishing this award, we set the bar high. It's not uncommon when trying to sort out an issue for us to ask amongst ourselves, what would Byron do? He's a master of knowing how to make bold environmental progress in California's state legislature. And tonight, we are so pleased that Byron is here to join us in recognizing George Miller's lifetime of accomplishments in the U.S. House of Representatives. Now, George's day job may be in Washington, D.C., but he never forgets where he's from. Look at what he's achieved in his years in Congress, and you can see how California's tawny East Bay hills, rushing rivers, fertile fields, and crashing waves inspire his life's work. And what a body of work that is. As if his historic work to improve education for all of our children and fight for safe, decent-paying jobs, affordable health care, and economic prosperity weren't enough. In the environmental field, he's led the fight to protect the Delta, improve California water management and restore our fisheries, expand protection in the California desert, stop offshore oil development off our coast, and, oh yes, tackle climate change. Basically, if it's big, George has helped make it happen in the House. But George doesn't just stand for noble causes. He knows how to get things done. Everyone knows if you want to get it done, go see George. As we all know, earlier this year, he announced that he's not seeking re-election. And we are all counting on East Bay Senator Mark DeSaulnier, who is here tonight as well, to head to Congress soon. Fingers crossed. But tonight, we're glad to have George home again. And while he may be hanging up his frequent flyer card, somehow I have a pretty strong hunch that he's not finished standing up for justice and speaking truth to power. He's definitely got his eyes on a bright future, as seen in the faces of the young students that are here with him tonight. And welcome, and we're so glad to have you. Finally, in presenting the Byron Sher Lifetime Achievement Award to Congressman George Miller, I want to acknowledge and thank his family for sharing him with us all these years. Washington, D.C. is a long way away, and their sacrifice has been our collective gain. So welcome, George. Welcome home, George, and congratulations from the California League of Conservation Voters.
Keep that going. Annie, thank you so much. As Annie pointed out, she's not only, in our life, you think the most important thing would be to be your constituent, right? Voter, that's translated for those of you who are bilingual. But she's been a great friend and a great mentor and a great advocate through so many years on so many issues with such great judgment. Thank you. And she was just in Washington with the president yesterday. I didn't see you on the plane. You must have left earlier. But, anyway, thank you so much. And to Sarah Rose, thank you for this wonderful event tonight. And it's an honor to be here with CLCV. This is an organization that has maintained me through almost my entire public life, one fashion of advocacy or another, and has brought us majorities in the House and in the state legislature and beat back assaults on so many of our fundamental laws in this country and values with respect to the environment. It's really quite humbling to be here and to stand in front of you. And to Susan, thank you for all your great advocacy and your battling such an important statement by our state about climate. And we can't let it be taken away. But thank you so very much, and congratulations. And Arno, it's just it's so exciting what you're working. How do they do that on TV? They just turn. They must have people that manage them say, turn to your right, and turn to your left, third row back. I can't find my wife in most audiences, but stop. Where was I? Arnold, thank you for an industry that we're so proud of, and you're right, is growing leaps and bounds, and really providing us a very real alternative to our dependency on fossil fuels and to new American media. It's magnificent. It's wonderful what you're doing. It's so exciting. I want to introduce a couple of my table tonight because I'm so proud of them. First, I want to introduce Veronica Pope and Connie Russell, who run a program about people who care. And then they have some of their students with them, Damari Crabtree, Sergio Contreras, and Cristobal Castaneda. Will you please stand? They run a program in Pittsburgh, California, community programs for young people to get deeply involved in their communities, and it's so exciting to be with them and to visit with them many times because they're almost everywhere helping out and getting young people to understand those kinds of contributions in social progress and environmental progress. So thank you so much, Veronica, for what you've created. And also Dr. Rona Zollinger, who was the Teacher of the Year in Contra Costa County last year, right? Last year. And I'm sorry, and Cristobal is one of your former students. Dr. Zollinger teaches at what used to be my elementary school, is now Vicente High School in Martinez. And she led for many years a wonderful program to restore Alhambra Creek, running through from up in the Barones Valley all the way to Suisun Bay. It's a creek where I used to hide out when I spent most of my sophomore year being suspended from school, so you could go to Alhambra Creek and smoke and meet the other guys who had been suspended. It was just great. Pretty soon you wanted to be suspended. I mean, it was like you had to figure out how by Tuesday can I get my ass suspended so I can go smoke with the older guys. It was great. It was a great education. It was, right behind Montecito. I mean, where it's now Vicente, right? You know where the little market was? Yeah, you go to the market. You're like 13, you're buying cigarettes. It's great. Somebody said, when did you stop smoking? I said, 8th grade. It was good. It was fun. And I'm honored to be here with two future members of Congress, Mark DeSaulnier and Michael Eggman. Where's Michael? He's in the room, I believe. Yeah, in the back here. Thank you. He's making climate an issue in many ways that people can understand who maybe not get the overall arc of this, but he is not only going to make it an issue, he's going to win a seat in Congress, and it's going to be really exciting to have him there. And I'm so honored that Mark DeSaulnier decided to run for the seat that I'm retiring from. It's truly exciting. This is a wonderful award. I've had 40 years, and they've really been exciting in the Congress. I'm very proud of my body of work, but I'm so very smart enough to know that so much of my work, certainly in the area of the environment, the same is true in my work in workers' rights and in education, that it would not have happened with so many people who are on the outside supporting me with the brain trust, with political strategies, with courage and statements, and I'm the recipient of that. And I can't thank you all enough for the run that I had. I've had more fun than anybody should have been allowed to have. I like to think that I've made a major contribution. But the other thing that I've learned, and this is why you are all so terribly important, is that these fights never end. This is not an athletic contest. The score isn't over and the game is over and that's it. Tomorrow they come and try to take it away from you. I was very proud to do the Central Valley Improvement Act. We're spending around the clock now with many people in this room trying to keep them from taking away the reforms that was in the California water system. AB 32, we have to fight every day to keep them from taking that away. There's no final score in public policy. It's a given. You win one day and you wake up in the morning and go, oh, you've got to start over. But that's the value of this kind of an organization and so many of your constituent members to keep the constant drumbeat to improve our environment, to make this state and our country and the world a better place to live and to ride out on the point on these issues. And it's lonely out there, but it's amazing how far this country has come in so many of these issues that were controversial so many years ago. But there's, it's a constant struggle. But it's worth having. It's a battle worth fighting, and the results can be remarkable for our children, for their futures, for our communities, for our neighborhoods. It can change their health. It's very localized. I know the climate we talk about in terms of global climate change, but it's a very localized effort to try to improve the health and the environment of families and communities. And it's remarkable when you see it happen with improvements in transportation, improvements in clean air, the clean water standards, what we've done so wonderfully in this in the Bay Area to be able to develop a system of integrated trails and transit and transportation so that people have options, families have options, communities can move from one community to another on a weekend morning with their kids. They can walk along the bay and go through different social economic zones, if you will, on that same bay trail and meet people from these other communities. And it's so exciting to have been part of that. I just can't thank you all enough for allowing me to be able to do that. But again, I would just finish saying that you have to saddle up every day. You just have to saddle up. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's like Lefty and what's his name on NPR. You know, God damn it, you just got to get back unsaddled and ride on. And that's what you do in this business. And one of the big inspirations for me was the person for which this award was named after, was Byron Sher. Just magnificent body of work in the state legislature and being out there on that point and constantly checking in with him, myself in Washington, Byron in California, about how this will all work together, whether it was on the forest or whether it was on water or whether it was on watersheds, whether it was on public spaces. How could we integrate them? How could we make them work? He is such a wonderful man. I'm so honored that he would be here tonight. It just means so much to me as I think about retirement. I'm looking forward to it. I have no regrets. But think about this. I've been married 50 years. I've been in Congress 40 years, and I've been living with Chuck Schumer and Dick Durbin for 32 years. I think it's time to come home. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.